He'll be here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order with the roll call. Yeah, should be.
Joe Davis,
Here.
Ryan Jackson, Darcy Miller, Joseph Marshall,
Here.
Kristen Raymond,
Here.
Jordan Haley,
Present.
Robert Kane Jr.,
He's at court today.
Augie Montgomery.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, so with regards to our March 19th agenda, which we'll cover first today. Don't believe we had any add-ons to that meeting. We did have, yeah, we did not have any add-ons, so we'll go ahead and, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, so with the consent calendar for the March 19th meeting, we have a new business, item number 4. Motion to approve travel to Portland, Oregon from April 6, 2026 to April 13th, 2026 for Carl Seitz to attend the Pacific Fisheries Management Council meeting. Funds to come from 2825-98009-3525, which is a USBR AFA task specifically for attending and participating in PFMC meetings. Number 7, motion to approve to pay the invoice 1104 for Schlosser. I believe we were gonna take that off of the consent, so that one, number 7, is gonna go back into, that will go back onto the agenda. Number 8, motion to approve to pay the invoice number 02-26 in the amount of $9,840 made payable to Victoria L. Shaw, attorney at law, for legal services provided in February 2026 to be paid from account number 5470-85,000-0250. Number 9, motion to approve the Bureau of Indian Affairs Amendment number 1 to residential lease number 561-4200180-984, made by and between the Hoopa Valley Tribe and Isaac Bustle. Number 18, motion to approve the purchase of 4 sets of 5-row bleachers from Nada Construction Inc., California. Bleachers for the Hoopa 4 project, Cookies Park, total $32,900, includes delivery and 100% installation. Funds to come from the Clean California Local Grant Project 2013-96200-0090. Number 19, motion to approve the purchase of park equipment for the CCLGP Hoopa 4 project, Cookies Park, from account number 2013-82010-0090. Hilfiger Company, and 8 concrete large picnic tables, $7,400. Belson Outdoors concrete bleachers, benches, planters, small tables, $17,518.40, for a grand total of $24,918.40. Number 21, motion to approve the attorney agreement between Hoopa Valley Tribe HR Department and law offices of Richard McGee not to exceed $15,000 to be paid out of Human Resources Budget Account number 0200-85,000-0155 and account number 0200- 910-0155. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar with changes?
I'll second.
Under discussion, I have, on number 18, I just need to change the account number to make sure it's okay upstairs, and that will change from 201396200009 to 201382010090. That's for the bleachers.
Okay, can you take that over to Amber so she can put it into the record?
Yes.
And we'll note those changes. So we believe there's a motion and second, correct? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, so getting back to our March 19th agenda. I believe we had a motion and a second. On number one, motion to approve an intermediate loan for personal expenses for Hoopa Development Fund Committee member and spouse.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Abstain.
Abstention, Raymond, motion carries.
I did.
Darcy. I made the motion. Darcy seconded.
Executive session item number two, motion to approve an intermediate loan for personal expenses for a Hoopa Development Fund Committee member.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Abstain.
Abstention, Raymond, motion carries. All right, I don't believe we had any action on number three. Number four, there was no action taken. Number five, no action taken. Number six has been, there was a motion to remove number six, I believe. Is that correct? Augie?
Yes, I request the item to be removed.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number seven, motion to postpone land commission update to April 16th meeting. Is there a motion?
I'll move. Make motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Number one, in continuing business, motion to reaffirm council polling sheet for fiscal. Motion to approve closing Lucky Bear credit card for Jay Jackson and opening one under the interim director for Virgil Doolittle.
That consented.
Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number two, motion to approve modification number two to the independent contractor agreement between Tally Monahan and the Hoopa Valley Tribal Council to provide evaluation services for grant funding initiatives at the federal, state, and private levels, including programs supported by the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, and the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. Anyone here from Tribal Court?
I think what's her name was going to be on, right? Sapana.
Sapaha, are you there on the phone? Okay, I know that this was postponed for the same reason last time, so I don't know if we wanted to.
I'd like to hear what this is, what they're gonna cover.
Okay, I would recommend that we go ahead and table this again.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we need a motion on that, Amber? Is there a motion to table? Okay,
Yeah. No.
all right, new business item number one. Motion to approve the contract modification for Joseph Wiseman. TRC 23 002. Under the terms and conditions presented into the attachment, modification to authorize the continuance of Judge Pro Tem services for the Hoopa Tribal Court. For the Hoopa Tribal Court account number 1026-85,000-0130, extending for 1 year. Is there a motion?
I don't know. I just had a question on it, but nobody's here to answer. I suggest that we table it.
Okay, let's go ahead and table that one also. Okay, we're gonna table number 2 also, no representation from tribal court. Number 3, Hoopa Valley Tribal Community Climate Vulnerability Priorities, presentation from Jill Sherman Ward. Are you there, Jill? Okay, we'll go ahead and table that one also. Number 5. Motion to approve purchase of a dump trailer in the amount of $14,379. Account number 1022-82050-0205.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I'd like to know why we're purchasing this trailer.
I have a lot of reasons. Currently, plant management had 2 dump trailers, and just today I turned over our dump trailer, our smaller one, to the recreation department. So now the recreation department has a dump trailer in kind. It was just a asset transfer. The second trailer that we have, the frame is bent, it's totaled, and that's how I received it. I'm gonna sideline that one, and make a decision on that. So it's really, it's safe to drive, but we can't take it off the reservation. So the frame is bent. I acquired it from the police department. Chief Ramos, in kind, transferred it to plant management, and it's our heavy horse. It's our trash trailer because it has high sides. And that's what we use it for. So it has a light life, but I really need to sideline it and make a decision what we're going to do with that. And so in a sense, I don't have any dump trailers as of this moment. Recreation department right now is hooking up the dump trailer that I presented to you in executive. So they're taking it right now. So I don't have any dump trailers. This particular dump trailer is the larger of the 2 for tonight, the second item. This one does have high sides. This one has a capability of hauling our mini excavator. So it has a larger capacity. We're able to, we do a lot of brush work, a lot of green waste. And so we need high sides for that. And so this one is a little bit more robust, and it is 2 feet longer than the second item, which we're not talking about right now. So it is longer in length.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Number 6, motion to approve approved purchase of a dump trailer in the amount of $12,379. Account number 1022-82050-0205.
I'll move.
This particular dump trailer is 2 feet smaller than the other item. This is going to be our primary trash trailer. Again, this is a high side trailer, large capacity as far as the weight. The one point that I didn't mention on the other item that I can make on this item, and they both go together. The dump trailers are the backbone of our department and the administration. They can be double booked, they can be triple booked. We use them for the dances. And the dump trailer follows the dance camps. And then we go in and retrieve them and we dump them when they're full. When that happens, I don't have a nice dump trailer to have for my staff. But it can be double booked, triple booked, and sometimes quadruple booked. We can be hauling a various amount of different materials at the exact same time. And I have to prioritize what goes first. And that trailer is just constantly moving. from rocks to debris, to equipment, to this, to that. And so that's the reason for 2 dump trailers, because it is the backbone of the administration and all of the other departments that we help. So that was the, all
All in favor?
Aye.
right.
Opposed?
Janet.
All right,
Motion
thank you.
carries. Okay, Jill, are you ready to give your presentation?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you have the documents in front of you. I'm not sure. I just sent Amber a copy of the PowerPoint presentation, so I'm hoping that she can share her screen.
Okay, it's gonna take her a minute to get that up, but we'll go ahead and we'll just give her a minute and then we'll get
Okay.
going.
Thank you. Sorry.
No worries.
I got sidetracked babysitting my grandkids.
Right on. Hope you guys had a good time.
Oh, they've been in the pool all day.
Nice.
So I'll talk a little bit about this project. As you know, the Native American Environmental Protection Coalition received funding to assist the tribe in creating an adaptation plan, and we've been collecting information over the past couple of years, attending events within the community, talking to people one-on-one, having one-on-one calls. We have also had postings in the newspaper, and we're getting ready to post another one. So basically the outcome of all of that information is the community identified their assets, and the assets that they identified are definitely different than the ones you received from NCE. And the assets are what drives the adaptation measures, and we're in the final stages of prioritizing them. We were hoping that we could meet with the tribal council to have you go over and prioritize, but we will be sending out a notice in the newspaper over the next few weeks, giving people opportunity to review them and to add additional information if they so choose. But just kind of high level, while we're waiting for the PowerPoint to come up, the assets that the community members identified were culture, the river, traditional foods, people, meaning elders and youth, our houses, our homes, and emergency services.
Okay,
I think you have that in your binder.
Gotta get mine pulled up here. Let's see. Okay, so Amber's having a tough time with downloading her file there.
Okay, I'm going to go off camera while we just kind of go over it together.
She's gonna enable you to share your screen though, if you're able to pull it up on your end.
Let's see. I might be able to. Let's see. No, it says only the host.
Yeah, I think she's working on it. Are you still there? We might have lost her.
I'm here. Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, Amber said you should be able to share your screen.
All right, let's see if that's possible. Is it doing it?
Nothing yet. Amber's gonna see if she can locate it in her email. Okay, it looks like we got it pulled up now. Are you ready? All right, we're good now. Go ahead. Are you there, Jill?
Yeah, sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't
we-
realize that was off.
We got your presentation.
Great.
All right now.
Fantastic. So this is the adaptation measures prioritization that was basically, you can go to the next slide. Basically done with us doing outreach to the community. We went to the senior resource center. We met with students and their parents from the elementary school and the high school. We attended events in the community and had one-on-one conversations with tribal members and community members. It wasn't all just tribal members. Next slide. So out of that, they identified assets because we're looking at what the community sees as important to them in terms of protecting those things in the face of climate change with hotter and cooler weather, basically, a flux of weather. And they came up with several things: culture, the river, traditional foods, and people. And we know that there was a climate adaptation and resilience plan created by, I don't know if you, next slide, please. I think you can kind of see that the next plan that came up was the one that you guys received. That's like about 150 pages long. And it's predominantly focused on the environment and infrastructure. Whereas the plan that we focused on was basically about people and what people believe to be the assets and priorities of the reservation. Next slide. So we combined some of the things that the study, the climate adaptation study that was provided by NCE, but we still saw that there's a heavy prioritization that is about culture, the river, traditional foods, people, elders. We broke the people up into elders and youth, their homes, and emergency services. Next slide. Out of that, the members in the community, the people in the community, proposed or provided ideas for 143 adaptation measures. And that of course is including a few measures from the NCE study. Next slide. So now we're at the point of wanting to prioritize these things against the assets. So, for example, we have, it's a weighted structure against the priorities that were provided. So, for example, let's say that somebody said that they wanted to host a camp for kids to go and pick acorns, right? That's something that would support culture. And it wouldn't necessarily cost anything. So if it's a low cost, it receives a higher score. Whereas if it's a higher cost, it receives a lower score. So we kind of briefly described these to the tribal council. We were able to meet with Jordan, Darcy, and Augie. And we went over the process. I don't know if they have any comments of what they thought about it, because it's pretty intensive. We wanted to block off a 4-hour meeting with tribal council members to try to go through it, all of the 143 proposed measures and score them. We're also still kind of seeking additional measures. So this is the part that's left to be done, is to score these and prioritize them. And in the end, once that's done, one of the things, go ahead and go to the next slide. Once that's done, one of the things that we will be able to do is provide you the ranking system. So everything that's prioritized will obviously receive higher recommendations for, and we hope to be able to provide you, identify funding streams that you might be able to access to pay for those things. So for example, let's say that one of the outcomes was that, because this was mentioned, cooling and heating systems in tribal homes, tribal elder homes. So let's say that we would identify a state funding stream that potentially the tribe could write a grant for and receive funding to put in splits in people's homes, an air conditioning heating unit in everyone's home. So this is where we're at. We are needing to have the tribal council and tribal members participate in ranking the measures that have been identified so far. We're also going to put those measures out or ask if there are any additional measures that tribal members see. And that's what we will be advertising for over the next couple of weeks, to see if tribal members have any additional thoughts on what is an asset to them and what some of their suggested adaptation measures might be. So for example, one of the measures, and when we met with the council, the 3 council members, we talked about this. One of the measures was having a diabetic, a dialysis center in the community, but you guys are already working on that. So that's, something that community members themselves said would really be helpful for them. I'm trying to think of the other one that was mentioned. So go to the next slide. Oops, next one. Or go down to the next steps, next slide, the gray slide. Next one. Next one. So our next steps is basically we wanted approval or acceptance, not necessarily approval, acceptance of the matrix that we're using, the ideas behind the prioritization of the assets and the scoring sheet. And then we would like to meet with the council in May, at the beginning of May, at your meeting in May, to confirm the adaptation measures that have been identified by the community. And then if the council wants to take a final ranking of those adaptation measures that have been prioritized, then we would do so at that time.
So once we have the final product, do you feel that this is something that can be used to kind of narrow down our focus priority areas, but also go after different funding opportunities or increase the compact or those sorts of things?
Oh yeah, there is, with everything that's happening at the federal level, a lot of funding streams have dried up, but there's a huge interest by a lot of different foundations that are working to provide, especially tribes, provide them access to assisting with adapting to climate change. So we have, quite a few philanthropic groups that the tribe could potentially be engaged with. And we hope that would be an outcome of this, is that we find those philanthropic partners that the tribe can use to help address some of the prioritized measures.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate the work on that. Is there a comment from tribal member ever? Or a question or? John Robbins.
We did a radio show too, so I don't know if anyone heard us on the radio a couple of weeks ago. And hoping to do another one to talk about the specific 143 measures.
Okay, are you able to see the question from John Robbins?
Mm,
He's just asking that you provide your organization that you're representing and the I think you might have mentioned it early on, but then the you know, what programs you're working directly with and what level with the council.
So the organization I work for is the Native American Environmental Protection Coalition, which is a nonprofit. It's going to be celebrating 30 years, and they're planning when I say they, the tribes themselves, because this is a unique organization in that the tribes, the 31 member tribes, of which Hoopa is a member tribe, are the ones who direct and guide me to what I do. Jacob Delaney from Tribal TIPA is the Hoopa representative, and he's actually pretty active and attends our meetings. And then the people that we contracted with, because I am not the climate change expert per se. We have contracted with the Capacity Collaborative, which is a group under Earth Island, and they have worked with over 50 tribal nations, mainly in the Pacific Southwestern area. And like right now, they're in Costa Rica working on climate adaptation. So they have many years experience. I've met them like 20 years ago is when I met them and worked with them. So we work with the tribal representative. And then of course we've been in the community gathering information.
Okay, so we'll look forward to meeting with you in May. Was there anything else?
No, I think we're going to try to be on your next agenda on the 19th, I think. We just want to touch base with you again then. Because right now, our contractors are in Costa Rica, but they will be up I guess it's the 15th. No, 16th, April 16th.
Okay, we'll see you on April 16th.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Bye.
Question from the audience. Okay, so Jackie Martins is here. She had a question if this began with a needs assessment that was specific to this area. Are you there, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, the question from the audience, Jackie Martin was wondering if there was a needs assessment specific to this area that kind of, I guess, facilitated this project.
No, not a needs assessment. Research was gathered based on research that some of the work that the Hoopa tribe has done, mainly within Humboldt County. So we used outside resources for some of that data gathering, and we had also met with tribal managers. So that was a part of the original research and background that was done. But there wasn't a needs assessment per se. Unless I'm not understanding what. Did that answer her question?
Let's see. We're gonna give her the mic. She had one more question, I think.
You mentioned earlier that you were gathering information from seniors locally here. And I'm wondering if that was at the Senior Nutrition Center or somewhere else on the reservation.
Yes, but keep in mind, it's been about 2 years ago now that we were actually there.
Oh, okay. Because I go there every day during the week.
Yeah.
And I don't recall it. So
No, and
I was still working 2 years ago. So
yeah. I don't remember you being there, but there's going to be opportunities for you to provide further input. So please look for in the Two Rivers Tribune when we put out the call. We are also offering a $500 raffle for the respondents.
okay, that's an incentive, I guess.
Yes, we want people to comment.
Okay, thanks again. We're gonna move on to number 7. So. Huh? I believe that number 7 will be tabled. So, 8 and 9 were consented, so number 10 is a motion to accept the BIA Decrum's funds in the amount of $200,000. Mr. Ken Norton, anybody here from land?
Hi, good evening. This is Tanya Lindsay with TIPA. This funding will be used to clean up 4 assignments and 1 allotment.
Great. Well, that sounds like a great project and appreciate you guys securing the funding. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Job, you guys.
Motion carries. Yes, thank you guys. Number 11. Motion to approve resolution to authorize the Hoopa Land Management Tribal Environmental Protection Agency Director to execute restricted grant agreements with the California Department of Transportation for the Clean Cow Program, Community Cleanup, and Employment Pathway Grant. Go ahead, Tanya.
For the record, real quick, this is changing to motion to reaffirm council polling sheet.
Okay, so we'll change that language, a motion to reaffirm the council polling sheet for this purpose. Do we have a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Can you just share with the community, Tanya, a little bit about this project?
Yeah, so this will be multiple events coming up for hard to recycle items, not household waste, but big items and hard to recycle and whatever we can divert from the landfill. And also the employee pathway, we're going to be training people to get HAZWOPER certified. And then there's also stipends included for those participants to be some labor support on our cleanup events and get some employment experience.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 12. Motion to approve amendment number 2 to the contract for services existing agreement dated April 18th, 2024, LAN 24 001 between Hoopa Land Management and Eco Renew for the purpose of extending services to provide environmental for non-point source pollution projects. Contract to be paid from account 3752 $85,000 0110. All right, Tanya, can you tell us about this one?
Yeah, this is just an ongoing contract we've had with Eco Renew. He's a retired EPA person who we've been in communication with for years, and he's assisting us with development of non-point source documents, the NPDES documents, and other technical environmental documents. And it's supposed to state environmental services on this motion. But we've been working with him for a couple years now, and we're just continuing this contract.
All right, is there a motion to include the change to say in contract for environmental services?
Aye.
Is there a
I'll second.
second? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 13, motion to approve travel for social worker and director to attend and I believe this is a motion to reaffirm social worker and director to attend the 44th annual Protecting Our Children Conference in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma from March 28, 2026 through April 2nd, 2026 from account number 0985 98009 0850. Do we have a motion?
Make the motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? motion carries. Number 14, motion to approve budget mod funds 5651 in the amount of $255,731.90 to clean up line items and prepare for end of year closeout at 6/30/26. Go ahead, Leslie.
Good evening, Leslie Mooney, Executive Director, Hoopa Tropicana. So what in working with fiscal, Gianna, we wanted to readjust the budget to take money out of wages and fringe and put more money into services for our TANF clients, as well as services in another department code that is like your employment and training for our youth and our adults.
I
And
move, Mr.
so
Chairman.
that's what we're planning to do.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilwoman
second.
Miller. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank
Any
you.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 15, motion to approve enrollment to purchase a 2024 Nissan Sentra for $21,740 with a 3-year warranty from Mickey's Qualities Cars, paid from account number 1024-82,000-0017. Rhonda Bigovich. Are you there, Rhonda?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm here.
Okay, so what do you guys usually have to travel for if you have a vehicle at enrollment?
Well, it seems like we have an uptick in projects that we've been using our own personal vehicles for the last year and a half to 2 years. Enrollment has prioritized different types of projects, like we've created the elder tree, which has made us, do a lot more traveling. We've been more vested in the MMIP movement. And then we also travel to Reading, because Reading doesn't have a DNA testing site. So a lot of times when there's people in that area, we're forced to take our vehicles there, and then also to Eureka. There's times where we have a two-day holding. We can't hold our DNA for longer than 2 days. And so we're technically supposed to, when we collect DNA, we're obligated to send that out the same day. So there's times where a tribal member won't let us know in advance that they're coming in, but they may come in from out of the area. So we have to take their specimen on the spot. So then we would take that to Eureka and get it shipped out as soon as possible. So there's a lot more responsibility that enrollment has. And for myself, I can say I probably put at least 15,000 miles on my own personal vehicle for having these types of responsibilities. And so this would allow us to utilize a GSA card, and we would be able to monitor gas spending a little bit more efficiently. And, we would have our own vehicle at our dispense. We wouldn't have to rent.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up.
I'll move.
Okay, we do have a motion.
Thank you.
So is this a car or is it a truck?
It's a car.
I have questions.
Okay.
Rhonda, I'm just curious to know if you checked out other dealerships on the coast. For 21,000, you could potentially buy a brand new vehicle. Did you look at other options besides Mickey's?
No, the reason why we did kind of sole source was because we knew that the due process took periods of time, and no other car dealership was willing to hold a vehicle for us. But because Mickey's is fluent with the Hoopa Valley Tribe and our processes, they held the car for us.
Okay. Have you looked at, okay, you want to come up?
Comment. So JW Mooney, Plant Management Director. Plant Management does have a GSA vehicle. It's a Ford little car, like Escape or something. So with a gas card, And plant management doesn't need it. I acquired it from education. I got it from folk rehab. I'm paying on it. I don't know what the monthly is, but it's an administration vehicle. So, and I'm paying on it right now through fiscal, but it is available. I don't need it. I'm paying on it, but I am reorganizing plant management, and one of the reorganizations is my vehicles to include this one. So I just want to just offer that out. Basically, I don't want the vehicle anymore. I don't need it. It's a little.
Do you know how much of the balance is left? I mean, like how much due balance it is?
It's not
What
a
year
balance.
mileage?
Yeah, it's a yearly thing. GSA vehicles, government vehicles, they either time out or they mile out. And so it's 7 years for GSA. And I think it's 60,000 miles if it gets miled out. I don't know how many miles it has on it. It's in great shape. I don't even know what year it is. But that's a good question, but it's almost an irrelevant question. What I mean by that is vehicles come and go through GSA. So when it times out or miles out, you just get another one.
I understand.
Yeah. So
And would that be would that be a transfer?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not here to make recommendations on your motion. I certainly don't want to do that, but I can get some data from fiscal, how much I'm paying on it per month. And it comes with a gas card for gasoline.
I would note too that the tribal council, we have a brand new Hyundai over at tribal police as well, and GSA, and I think so far I've been the only one to use it. I've probably used it like 3 times in the last 3 months.
Good to know.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, it highlights this need. I know we've talked about it a lot before of like, we should have like a centralized vehicle pool that everyone could
I
pull from.
totally
would
agree.
be
Yeah.
more efficient, but I don't know. We do have a motion in a second. I hate to see your idea totally shot down, but
Mr. Chairman,
should
I have a
we-
comment. I think things like this is what I'm looking for, is that, everybody here work for the membership here. And if we can work together, it's going to better,
Yeah.
service our people here. So, if he's willing to give a car up for them to do what they need to do, because they obviously need a vehicle, so.
I would say too, like, well, the council's GSA, and then when I know Two Rivers Tribune had asked a few months back, if other tribal departments could help them out with the vehicle for picking up the newspaper and delivering it to different places that sell it. There were probably like 3 or 4 departments that reached out and said that they had an extra vehicle that could be used once a week. So it may be worth it to, do that here again, just for efficiency. But I don't know. Anyone else?
It's good to save money.
Yeah.
It's Rhonda's department, Rhonda's motion, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree. And I do appreciate that. We had in the past reached out to tribal departments to see if there was vehicles that we could use. And I remember at one point we needed a vehicle and they couldn't find a vehicle. So that was where we have this one-time funding that we can purchase something to enhance our department. And we would have, a car at disposal, and we would be willing to also let that car go to other departments who may need it as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate that, Rhonda. Now, if it doesn't work out, and you're not able to access these vehicles in a timely manner, then maybe we should revisit this, and I don't know if the motion maker and the second want to rescind their motion, and then we can always come back to it, maybe we'll revisit the issue in 6 weeks or something. And if it's not working out, then we can always reconsider and look at, still purchasing if it's still a major need.
I understand, and I'm game for that. I mean, if there's other ways that we can find something that meets our need, because like we do stay pretty consistently busy, especially with all these new projects. And that was the drive, because I had been asking my staff to utilize their own vehicles, putting mileage on their new vehicles. And so we all know and understand how warranties work. But I'm also in favor of that. If we could maybe talk to JW and get something like that going, I'd be willing to do that, because that would allow us funding for something different.
Yeah, and you know, you have my permission if you need to use the Hyundai over at Tribal Police, just go over there. They got the key there, the dispatch office, and then I would only ask that you give us a heads up, you know, that way if a council member is counting on using it to take it to the airport or something, we know that it's not going to be available if you're, you know, planning to use it.
For sure. We'll figure something out.
Thank you.
So I'll rescind my motion. Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, number 16. Motion to approve purchase of 2 vehicles using accounts 8240-CA -0429 8240-CA -6810 and 8240-CA 6811, supported by the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation grant. Tribal Forestry. Someone on from Forestry? I know somebody was asked to fill in. Okay, why don't we go ahead and table this one?
Yeah.
And we'll have to talk with Forestry. You know, should have somebody here if they want an agenda item. Okay. Number 17, motion to approve the resolution for the motion to reaffirm the resolution for the Hoopa Valley Public Utilities District to apply for a State Water Resources Control Board construction application and name the authorized representative. Is there a motion to reaffirm?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to hear.
But I still want to hear about it too.
Okay,
Sure, absolutely. So as you know, so the whole BIA campus is one of the only sections of the valley that has a septic collection system. And it's from tribal fisheries all the way down to Supply Creek. And so there's old pipe in there. It's a 50-year-old system. Tribal fisheries needs to complete their Supply Creek restoration. And they can't do that until we find funding to build the collection system that would be built adjacent to Pookie's Park. We've been looking to secure funding for this for several years. We have letters of support from tribal fisheries, from Hoopa Land Management and TIPA, Congressman Huffman, Assemblymember Rogers. And the total application would be was approximately 9 million. We're also looking to include some of the costs to tie in the new education building, which we're going to have to probably wrap into our costs. And we're looking for additional funding from either USDA, the Indian Health Service, or EPA. This is a project that is widespread, and it would benefit that entire campus area. So having a sound system, something that's not 50 years old, that can carry us into the future, that would also allow creek restoration and maximizing of that land. So that's what this application would be for. And we've been working hand in hand with the state for several years on this.
Thank
Is
you.
this on the
That's
project?
awesome.
Is this on the project on the back end of Pookie's Park?
Correct.
So is this, I guess, is this just a seek out funding? The resolution? Or
It's
do
to
you,
actually submit the application
to
to
submit
the
the
state.
application?
Correct.
So I don't
And
know, I just, my opinion, I just feel that, I don't know how much leach line field that you need,
Mhm.
but that is a very large back end of the field, and I feel that these young kids have no field for T-ball and stuff, and I just feel that it's overkill of the land that was allotted. So that's just my
So
opinion.
gone through years and years of environmental design. The backfield that is currently undeveloped, you're not gonna see the lines. It's underground injection lines. So there'll be no footprint within that backfield. It'll be a treatment building. So there's been sizing and engineering and analysis that has gone on for probably the last 4 years. You weren't on council then, and I'd be happy to provide the information. We can also give a presentation from our engineers so you guys can understand the treatment methods and what's actually being proposed there. But we did seek tribal council approval to build on that site.
That's fine.
That's fine. We can create a working meeting. We can provide you information, but the backfield is not going to be impacted and can still be developed. Not on the backfield. And the reason why the backfield wasn't fully developed at this time, for one, probably wasn't enough project funding, right? There was decisions that had to be made with the additional Clean California grant. But they didn't want to build a field for us to then have to seek funding and then dig that up and reconstruct the lines that had to go in there. So you're not going to see any impact on the backfield grasslands at all. And so you have to think about that whole campus area. You have 27 different tribal entities that work throughout there, and there has to be a treatment method for the septage collection. So you have to think about the impact that would cause with no method for septage treatment for that entire area.
Thanks, Linnea. Motion carries.
Okay.
Thank you.
Number 20, motion to approve to retain the legal services and proposal of Rain and Zep Professional Law Corporation for the support of the Hoopa Valley Tribe and the Hoopa Valley Child and Family Services, ICWA program, and advocates. I
With
would,
the motion.
Second.
I'd just like to note too that this will be grant funded project specifically for this purpose. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 22, motion to approve the annual funding agreement between the Hoopa Valley Tribe and the Indian Health Service for fiscal years 20. Okay, number 22 was asked to be removed. I apologize. Number 23. So this is a motion to reaffirm
Yes.
council polling sheet for Kamau Medical Center. Motion to approve the limited waiver of sovereign immunity and execute the resolution for the Kamau Medical Behavioral Health Project with Adams Commercial General Contracting. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a question. So the tarot is included in this?
No, this is just the limited
just the
waiver,
resol-
right?
just
It's
the
not the
resolution. Okay.
contract.
Okay.
Okay, the contract hasn't come forward yet, I don't believe, has it? Is anybody,
You know,
Angela, do you know if the contract will come forward to the council or if it will include tarot tax?
It will include tarot tax, they all do.
Okay,
But I'm guessing that if it needs to come to the council next, it will. But yeah, it does include tarot.
all right, thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, that concludes the March 19th agenda. We're gonna move on to the April 2nd agenda. So I don't believe there were any additions. Okay, so there was a continuing business addition to this agenda. Okay, that's number 4. Okay, motion to approve the extension of the LPA proposed reorganization plan for the Hoopa tribal government. To authorize an additional public hearing and route the updated reorganization plan along with any additional proposed documents be routed through the LPA process. Is there a motion to approve the agenda with the changes?
Mr. Chairman, real quick, continuing business number 3 needs to be removed.
Okay, and number 3 will be removed. So that's about it, right? I know number 8 and it was requested that number 8 in executive session also be tabled. So is there a motion to approve that agenda with changes?
I move.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so we do have the consent calendar. Continuing business item number 1. Motion to reaffirm council polling sheet for Council Member Raymond. Motion to approve the Hoopa Valley Tribe to cover insurance for the candlelight vigil scheduled for Thursday, March 19th, 2026, was set up at 7:30 p.m. and the event beginning at 8 p.m., including a walk from Hoopa neighborhood facilities to the Hoopa Valley High School football field, utilizing Loop Road. Number 2 is a motion to reaffirm council polling sheet for Hoopa Fire Department. Motion to approve Tyler Brew travel to fire training Sunday, March 29th with training dates Monday, March 30th through Friday, April 3rd. 6 days. Training course is the D11 initial attack dispatcher and D312 aircraft. In new business, we have motion to approve the amount of $33,750 to Hoopa Safe and Sober for TANF project application from account number 5708-91650-0892-91708. New business item number 4, motion to approve the one-time distribution of $74,250 from the Bureau of Indian Affairs to the Hoopa Tribal Court for Judge Pro Tem services to account number 1026-85,000-0130.
Joe,
Yeah,
can I change that? It shouldn't be 1026. We got the paperwork. It's 1025.
okay, so for the record, the account number is 1025-85,000-0130.
Yep. Thanks.
Number 10, motion to approve Allied Universal Enhanced Protection Services to contract with Tribe to innovate and secure inventory flows. We need accurate inventory numbers to ensure that business trajectory is precise and goods are not lost in various manners that would impact success. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I'll move, Mr. Chairman.
A second.
Any comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. So in executive session, item number 1, there was no action. Same with number 2. No action on number 3. We did have a motion on number 4.
Yeah, make the motion to approve a resolution of the Hoopa Valley Tribal Council granting a 20-foot public right-of-way for ingress and egress over and across an existing roadway to feed parcel APN 527-053-009. Right-of-way easement originates at Bloody Camp Road west across the most southern portions of travel tracks T119 and T1073. Bald Hill and shall terminate at the most eastern boundary of APN 527-053-009.
Resolution.
I'll second.
Yeah, to approve the resolution.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Was continuing business item number 3 removed as well, Amber?
It was on there, 19.
Okay, Judge Blake, are you there?
I am.
Okay, so in number 3 in continuing business for the April 2nd meeting, we have a motion to approve modification number 2 to the independent contractor agreement between Tally Monahan and the Hoopa Valley Tribal Council to provide evaluation services for grant-funded initiatives at the federal, state, and private levels, including programs supported by the U.S. Department of Justice and the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administrations, SAMHSA. Table.
Oh, there's no other action.
I'm sorry.
Was tabled from the 3/5/26 meeting, and I would just like to note that executive session items 5 through 8, there was no action. Number 8 was tabled.
Number 8.
Yeah, this is executive session. There was no action. That's separate from your issue here.
Oh, okay. All
Number
right.
3 is sorry, that was my fault, but number 3 is your motion. I think the question the council had is, what exactly does Miss Monahan do within this contract, and was there deficiencies with her work in the issue that came up before with the grant issue that we had?
So, Mr. Chairman, thank you for your questions. This current contract would be a 1-year extension, and as I said, you see in the motion, it is not to exceed $72,000 annually, and is subject to travel tax. But what her role is that she covers program evaluations for adult, family, and juvenile wellness courts, as well as the victims of crimes program. Miss Monahan is the reason that we found out that this even happened, that there was a problem with that grant. She caught it at her earliest convenience, and at that point, it was brought to our attention, and then I brought it to council for full transparency. So no, she did not know until she started, until she was able to obtain full and accurate records that were being withheld.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to continuing business item number 4. Motion to approve the extension. Let's say 60-day extension of the LPA proposed reorganization plan for the Hoopa tribal government, to authorize an additional public hearing and to route the updated reorganization plan along with any additional proposed documents be routed through the LPA process.
I'll make
move.
that motion.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business. Item number 2. Motion to approve the interdepartmental agreement between the Hoopa Valley Public Utilities District and Hoopa Forest Industries to work on the Deerhorn Communications Tower project in the amount of $548,951 to be paid out of Fund 748.
Good evening, Linnea Jackson, PUD General Manager. So this is part of our NTIA grant. We're building 2 communication towers. Jones Point is fully built now, and our second one is Deerhorn. That one's taken a little bit longer because of the remote nature of it. It's a lot more access road, and there's need to be road stabilization. There had to be a pad that was cleared. Hoopa Forest Industries already takes care and has management activities under the forest management plan for road stabilization, clearing, and landing activities. So they were able to help us kind of meet the project terms. So we've been working with Hoopa Tribal Forestry, our TIPO officer, and Hoopa Forest Industries to make this ready. We couldn't enter into any construction activities until the full environmental had been approved. And so for that site, because it was remote, it was, you know, previously not in an area that a tower would be built. We had to wait for seasonal blooms. We had to do bioenvironmental on that. So now that we've had full environmental approval from our funding agencies, we can start entering into these construction activities. Okay, so FHN is doing the road engineering. So the second part of this, so if you see a two-part process, the first part was the road stabilization to make this project like build ready. The second half of this is to shore up the road and make that solidified according to engineer specs for future maintenance. And so they already do work up there. They were already on site. It makes sense to keep the activities utilizing tribal resources and tribal funding. So this interdepartmental agreement, there will be taro tax. I know that's something that's been brought up before on interdepartmental agreements. So there's taro tax. It's already a function that they do, and it helps support a tribal entity as well. So this is fully grant paid, had legal review, taro costs, and we look forward to building out this site as well.
Oh, the question I had is on the road. Is it just on the new road that's to the spot, or is it the whole lower road from the highway up?
No, that's not our responsibility. There was a couple of spots. Yeah, that's several miles up. There was a couple of spots there that needed remediation, maybe some additional culvert work and stabilization. So there's pockets there that will be stabilized as part of this, but it's definitely the road up to the tower. That is the activities within this agreement.
Is there a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Man, I'd just like to say, Linnea, you and your department are doing an amazing job. I went and checked out the Deerhorn Tower the other day. It's incredible. You guys making great progress, and it's I don't think people not everybody fully realize what just a game changer this is for the valley and our people. So great job.
I'm glad you got to go up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my kids.
I'd like to thank you too for all the hard work to bring in, you know, not only revenue that's now supporting tribal owned businesses, but also created jobs for people as well. So thanks a lot for that.
Absolutely.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 3. Motion to approve the federal award in the amount of $1 million from the Office of Justice Program to the Hoopa Valley Tribe to enhance the Hoopa Tribal Wellness Court. Judge Blake?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The acceptance of this award is it's a 5-year, and it supports the adult and family wellness court programs within that we have developed at the tribe. And one of the positives I want to say that Council Member Haley has been very, very supportive of our adult wellness program. And I wanted to say, as of yesterday, we had 2 more tribal members graduate from our program in the adult wellness court program. This is a much needed program, and it was we were very, very excited to get this award yet again.
That's great to hear.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And Judge Blake, you weren't here. You had a couple other items on the agenda from the March 19th meeting. I'm gonna see if we can maybe add those back onto this agenda at the end if you want to stick around.
Sure, I'll wait.
Since you're here now, thanks. Okay. New business item number 5. Motion to accept funding in the amount of $206,000 from the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services, Cal OES program for the Hoopa Tribal Court Advocate Program. All right, Judge Blake, this is you as well. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Right. Any comments or questions?
I have a question. With this grant, you have your court advocate. How does the person get assistance?
So right at this point, we have 2 court advocates. We have Tristan Morton, who is directing this program, and Ashley Abbott, who also is involved in being an advocate for we have their offices are set up right up there at the tribal court. If they are a victim of crime, when they are filing petitions on either through a violation of law and or a self-reported victim of crime incident, they are connected with them at that point. In addition, one of the other issues that has been is Lisa Sanderson has also been a real advocate for us, adding yet another wheel to our success in this program.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Number 6. Motion to approve mod 1 of fiscal year 25 Applied River Science for $32,500. Fund number 2825-3512. Mr. Orchid.
Good evening. So it's a modification to Stillwater's Applied Science. They changed their name from it being a trust, but it's additional work that wasn't anticipated. It comes out of FY 2024 tasks that are coming out of the 25 budget. And I believe we've already made budget modifications to account for the additional cost.
So what do they do?
Excuse me?
Where do they do?
It's riparian. It's a bunch of mapping stuff in the Upper Trinity Basin. It's wildlife mapping and some other. That's the general scope of the project.
Is there a motion?
I'll move. Or I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 7, motion to accept 2026 Bureau of Reclamation Annual Funding Agreement 2026 initial for $3,026,919 and approve the budget.
Okay, this is way earlier than it was last year. It's the first initial phase of our 26 agreement. We will have also additional project for mod 1, but the money needs to be upon approval sent back to them, and then set up the budgets, and then we'll also be negotiating what's called modification. One big part of that will be the construction part of it. That's usually a fairly large amount, so that'll come later.
So you're going to bring the budgets back for approval, or?
The budgets are in the AFA document already, and so I assume when you accept this, the chairman signs it, and this budgets will be set up as presented in that 26 initial AFA.
Okay, you made the motion, correct, Chris?
I made the motion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, as you might be aware, Mike, I had met with your deputy the other day, and I had questions about the COLAs and the merits that are in there. Now, is that like are those amounts that make the overall AFA increase from, because you have your tasks within the AFA, right? And that's where the amounts come from for each task. And then the COLAs and those things are tacked on to that total amount. Is that how that works? Or is it just a lump sum, and the COLAs and the merits come out of that lump sum that is kind of a set amount?
The most recent way we construct the budgets, they're all by projects that are in spreadsheets. And so for a recurring program, I'll use an example, Trinity River Restoration Program, TMC participation. It'll have a budget amount in there, and usually that's kind of a recurring program. And so we have for a long time, 3 to 4.5% to account for the cost of living plus any everybody does it. It's based upon a performance evaluation.
Okay.
And so it's an estimate, and it's on all of the individual budgets that we've shown them to you before, and I believe you might have did that again as well. So they're in the spreadsheets, and then that's what we've targeted, 3 to 4.5% for quite a
So,
while.
okay, so if we approve this, we're already approving your COLAs and your merit increases.
Well, the fiscal year just started, so it's a 26 fiscal year agreement. So we would be building in, and we have pending COLAs that have been signed and trying to be executed, but it's pending the chairman's information that he's looking for.
Okay.
That was for
So,
25 though, right?
no, that's 26.
Does this follow our wage scale that the council has approved for this year?
What we do in working with HR is each time we got a COLA, the cost of living means everybody raises up by a certain amount, and it's 3% usually. And so we raise all of the salaries for all of the positions up by 3, but whatever percent the COLA is. So it revises the,
You guys have your own wage scale, right? It's different than,
Yeah. I think you guys work with the tribes, right? The
What's
tribe-
that?
The tribes, you guys go off of the tribe's wage scale.
As a program manager, we have for many, many years looked at across the board, state, federal, and tribal. And it's generally follows a GS pay scale with some modifications, but that's what we've been working on. And then when there is a COLA, we don't get them all the time. I mean, when the council and chairman approves it, then the tables go up by that amount each year. And then performance evaluations are on a calendar year basis. We're just now completing the calendar year performance evaluations. So
But this falls within the federal, but this falls within what the federal employees get as well, right? In the same type of jobs.
I
you're
don't think
saying
it's quite a
GSA.
across the board comparison, because the federal government employees get a whole bunch of other benefits as well, training, a range of it's called a number, and I can't remember what the acronym is now, but anyway, they have those fringe benefits. So it's an attempt to align with and or emulate the federal system.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, number 8. Motion to approve attached resolution authorizing the formation of the Hoopa Youth Council. Annalise Scholgrove.
Good evening, Arnold Scholgrove, Education Director. Attached is the resolution that has been ran across some of the youth. I've been working in the high school now for consecutive 5 weeks or so, getting input and trying to get more youth involved and gauging the interest to try and get more involved in forming a youth council.
I move.
A second.
Second. Okay, yeah, we want to thank you for all that hard work. It's really great. You know, the more we can offer our youth, the better, and just leadership development, hopefully getting them exposed to various things, including even attending, having representation at these meetings or, other avenues. I'm sure probably hopefully with fundraising, they can do a little bit of travel and be exposed to see what other tribes are working on, or, maybe even looking at how they interface with Congress and, elected leadership, what have you. So it's really, really awesome.
Yeah, I tabled at Fish Fair today and tried to get enough notice to students that this meeting was happening tonight. I know there was a student here earlier. I don't know if there's a student here now. But I'm hoping that there is more representation in the future.
So I have a question for you. I'm like, so you already have them organized then? Do we have a youth leadership board?
That's the next step, is to draft the bylaws to decide what are the parameters for who gets to sit on the youth council.
And then that was my next question is it like open to the whole community or just town members or?
Whole community, anyone who feels like they identify with the Hoopa community, Hoopa youth.
Yeah, I know before, when we had a youth council, it was around like 2014, I think it started, or 2015. And, at that time, it was just an elected youth council. So you had, I think, like 7 or 8 members that were all elected. Whereas, you know, I would encourage you all to maybe consider, and it's up to you guys and, you know, the youth and what they want to decide, but as just as a consideration to say that anybody, you know, who wants to join the youth council can be a youth council member. However, only certain ones would be elected as officers, you know, maybe by the youth council as a whole. That's just a suggestion. You know, I don't want to micromanage you guys, but it you know, just a consideration, I would say, to try to get more people involved with it. But sounds like you guys have a plan, and I appreciate that you're allowing the youth to kind of hopefully shape that and what it looks like going forward. So it's good good news. All in favor?
Aye. And just real quick, man, Annalise, I want to say thank you for those listening. I had an idea a few weeks ago, and sadly, it was on the day of the tragic occurrence that happened. But as much as I'd like to take credit, Annalise is the one that did most of the moving and shaking and got everything set up, and brought in some other folks to help us, and we were able to go and sit in and get a lot of good input from the students. And that was mostly thanks to you, and I appreciate that. Annalise, you're doing a good job, man. It's going very noticed. You're doing really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Make a big difference.
Number 9, motion to approve cultural burns. Kadusha Colgrove, are you there, Kadusha? Anybody here for cultural burns? I know, Don, you were part of those. What was discussed at last Friday was that we were looking to get some burns approved. Some were already approved, maybe with burn plans from the BIA, and then there was consideration for moving forward on some other units that may not have been approved by the BIA. Can you go ahead, Don?
Dawn Blake, Hoopa Tribal Forestry. I know as much out of that meeting as you do. At the time, the burn plan was not approved, but we thought that it was going to be approved promptly. Kevin was on the phone with the BIA while we were at that meeting. I'm not sure. I mean, I think that there's a historic map that's put together for potential cultural burns. I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, what I had asked of the TIPO officer was to come forward, working with Kevin and the forestry crew, to have specific. They were supposed to have specific units identified, you know, to get council approval to have burning done. But since we don't have specific unit information at this time, I don't know that we can really approve anything. Maybe this next week, if we can work on a poll vote, if you could kind of help out. And I'll talk to her about it. I'm not sure why she isn't here, but we'll figure that out.
I think that the discussion went 2 different directions. You wanted a detailed list and map depicting where these cultural burns would happen. But the discussion that we had was about really making a plan for getting it done. When a new council comes on, you know, the basket weavers have to come to the council again, rebuild relationships, and it's been cyclical. And so they're very frustrated and really just want a plan from the tribe to make sure that it's happening year after year. So we had a bunch of different ideas for how to do that. One was to have a programmatic burn plan, so that when we have days that a burn can happen, then we could go out there and do it. And the other thing that we discussed is just that we need to lean into having volunteers be able to do this also. And so I think that one of the things we asked was that the tribe didn't press charges against someone, a cultural practitioner who was going out and burning during the correct time, with, of course, help from from the RXB twos. But it was a broader discussion. I believe that map does exist. I think that's what I heard at that meeting. But I really, think this requires further discussion and just decision going forward, because I think when it dries, then we're gonna go out and try to burn again. But then what happens next year is the real
Yeah.
question. So,
Gonna get this sewn up and make it just automatic.
Don, Elizabeth
Too much of a
contacted
hassle than it
me
should
with
be.
Trex and Margot, and I asked them to reach out to you, you know,
Mhm.
just, because Cherokee had approached me about this as well. And I knew the meeting, I was out of town, but, I just forwarded her information. And she was supposed to reach out to you.
okay, what would you want us to do with Cultural Fire
Well,
Management Council?
Cultural burns, because they were just more interested just in cultural burns. And they said, Margot had, or Elizabeth said that they had worked with the tribe in the past
Mhm.
and they just wanted to do a partnership and they just want to assist. So,
Okay, so I'm very interested in this. Kadusha was bringing this forward. She's from a different department than the forestry department. So I don't want to overstep, what she has going on. I think that a partnership would be good in the case that we need their resources. So they have like type 6, they have a type 6 engine, I think, which is just like a small truck with water on it so that they can do their burns. They're developing their resources and capability of putting fire on the ground. If we're going to partner with them, I feel like there needs to be more discussion, because we don't want to just step on the toes of our people. We have to do it with a lot of cooperation. So I am definitely willing to have that discussion, but I feel like this discussion requires a little bit more just decision making.
I did ask the tip officer to reach out to Margot as well. To
I think
engage.
they're in communication.
Okay.
We sort of agreed that would be a good idea, since we didn't have our resources here when we went out and tried to burn. I think there was one engine and just very few personnel. So if they were able to come in and help with resources so that we could burn, everyone seemed willing to do that. I think the department that may have an issue with it is wildland fire, and we don't want to start off on the wrong foot. So we want to make sure that we have this discussion with them in the room and whatnot. So I think that's as much as I should say. You should probably follow up with Kadusha. When she gets back, I'll make sure that she knows that you're asking for the map. And then if that should be passed by a full vote, then I'll let her know that. I'll pass on the information.
So we're not gonna move on this, because if it wouldn't have rained Monday, they would have burned anyway, so.
Well, I believe that was a site that was already approved as far as,
Okay.
yeah, but,
Well,
I mean, we could, but we don't have any, we could pass a motion to approve cultural burns, but it's not gonna be specific to specific units, because the issue that always comes up is, are the units approved? Do they have approved burn plans by the BIA? And if not, we can still burn, but then it becomes a liability for the tribe. Whereas, if the fire gets away, it creates a cost, and we can still do that. It's good to know ahead of time that we're taking on the liability, if we're going to move forward. And at a certain point, I think sometimes we're just going to have to do that, because we can't always wait around. Otherwise, we'll never get it. So in some cases.
So my understanding is that where the culture fire would happen, it's planned on, it's been discussed. The basket weavers have asked for it. They're the same spots. Nothing new is going in there. So it's the map that council have seen time and time again. And
Fine line down, just have to scratch it.
if you bring down where you know those spots are, like, I mean, it's not like they're identifying any spots that are in an area where they haven't been previously burned, and so I feel like it's pretty well maintained already. I'm sure that you could have them go out and do a site visit to verify that beforehand. Like there's ways that we can still move forward, but be prevented at the same time.
Okay, so your motion is to burn all of them. Unless, even if they're not approved with burn plans, or, I mean, I'm fine with that myself.
I'm sure they all have a burn
I
plan.
mean, but you know what? For thousands of years, our people didn't have burn
Right.
plans. We just went out and did it. And I really think we need
Yeah.
to get back to that. I do. So
I mean,
I make the
feel- I
motion.
feel like we can
Okay,
move forward
motion
for
and a
burn
second. All in
Second.
favor? Kristen? Any further
Feels bad, you
discussion?
can Come for my head.
All in favor?
Okay.
Anyone opposed?
No,
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dahl.
You vote no?
I vote no because, I'm just worried that I'm not against the burning, the cultural burning. I'm worried about the liability to the tribe. So if that gets away and we don't have, like we're saying, the specific areas that we're
No,
going to burn, then what?
Yeah,
You know,
but all
so
these
we're-
specific areas have handline around them. They've been burned for years. I think our people have a good enough sense to not go out and do it when it's like super dry or hot. I mean, they have to check the humidity, but and that's fine. You guys,
Caduceus
because we
getting
got
on
enough
right
yes
now.
votes, so.
Could
no
you
worries.
just joining us? I mean, I understand, I also support and agree with you on that, Darcy. But I do know there's only a few spots in our area that we actually burn. And I've been to those spots, and so they might not have been done, consistently, but consistent enough within like 5 years of each other or less. So I don't feel like they would cause an issue. I mean, I'm not fire, and so I can't speak on their behalf, but I feel like we're safe, and I feel like they would make sure they made that decision based on safety originally.
May I speak again? At the meeting, there were many professionals in the room, including Kevin Lane, who's the fuel specialist. Nolan was there, and part of the discussion included the fact that there are a lot of these cultural burn sites that are on aspects that aren't going, the liability doesn't really matter because these fires aren't going to go anywhere. So we can have, there are places where we can do cultural burns, and when the time is right, when it's dry enough, that you can go out there and do it with a very low risk. And a lot of these cultural burns are like that because they have had fire multiple times over. They do have the fire line around them. So there's not the same risk as other places. And, and I felt like everyone was in agreement of that. What we were really kind of pressing up against is that liability, and we've let the liability stand in our way. And what we've lost is the expertise of our own people to go out there and put fire on the ground and to be able to manage it and handle it. And I'm sick about that. I'm sick about my lack of ability to teach my kids how to do it, and whether or not my grandchildren are going to have that ability. We managed this land like this until we let bureaucracy get in the way of it. And we have let them almost put a stop to it altogether because the Bureau of Indian Affairs has all to say about when, where, how we light fires. And we've been hands off, just cooperating. And it's bottlenecked so much that it's been a gigantic detriment to us as a people. So it's uncomfortable, but getting back that expertise is vital. We really have to press into it, and we have experts who can help us do it right now and manage it. When you have higher risk, then you match the resources to the risk. So like partnering with Culture Fire Management Council, or asking for the Forest Service to come in and provide resources for us to be able to handle it. More volunteers, more people, more boots on the ground. That's how you manage the risk of it.
I really just encourage you to come and talk to us at forestry or even go out and walk on some of these, places that have been burned. We'll take you out there.
I think I'm not, that's what I'm saying. I'm not against the cultural burns.
Mhm.
What I am against is that I don't want to put our people in jeopardy too, because we do get funding from the Bureau of Indian Affairs, you know, so they're to be following their guidelines, okay? And so when they're not following the guidelines, what are the consequences to that? Is what I'm saying, is, you know, I don't want to jeopardize what their current job duties are because BIA is messing up and not allowing us to do this. That's my point that I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm totally in support of it too, but the motion is pretty vague. It just says approval of cultural burns without early any mass, so that could be opening it up, but maybe this just starts with the conversation and we'll get more detailed as we move forward.
Yeah, we can search out those details from Kevin Lane and the crew, and I think we can all get on the same page before we move forward with the burn, just so everyone knows, you know, which ones have approved burn plans, which ones don't. Those guys are pretty cautious up there as far as what they do. You know, if it's a certain time of day and the humidity is too high or low and the wind is coming up, they won't burn, so they're pretty good. All right,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Just, you know, always to put that extra plug in there in the people who are experts can handle it if you have the resources. So when they're back burning, it's in the middle of like it's outside of the burn season. It's in the middle of summer. It's when you have the greatest risk. But the people who are experts are going out there and putting fire on the ground and back burning in the worst possible conditions. And, you know, those are the fires that escape. What we're talking about when it's high humidity, when the humidity's right and when the temperature's right. This is springtime, not summertime. It's not the 100-degree weather. It's, you know, somewhere in the 70s. It's not the same thing. And the reason that we're afraid of it is because of those where escapements happen is for those higher risk fires. This is low risk.
Those escapements happen because they hadn't been burned in so long. The more often
True.
we do it, the safer it is. Yep.
Yeah, we have a
Agree.
phrase that we use when we're running our own
Most probably
vehicle
we can
patch,
do
and
it.
that's low and slow, right? Because you want to make sure that you contain it, but going back to what Don said, these have been burned numerous times, and so it, you know, the potential's always there, I guess, but in these cases, it's really.
All right, thank you.
Josie, are you on? No?
Number 11, motion to approve Dub in the Creek, June 26th through 29th at Tishteen Campground. Is there anybody here for that?
It'd be cool, but.
Okay.
Some details.
We'll table that one. 12, motion to approve to route the proposed Title V exclusion ordinance amendments under the LPA process.
I'll move.
A second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 13, motion to approve the blood correction for Monasto Francis Perry from 7:30 seconds to 53:128 in accordance with Title IX ordinance.
I'll move.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 14, motion to approve the relinquishment of HRN number 4253, Keishan Ruby Pearl McLaughlin, in accordance with Title IX Enrollment Ordinance Section 6.1.4. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Kristen can second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 15. Motion to approve enrollment of Nawahadin, George, Montgomery, Begay, blood degree 77-256 to the Hoopa Valley Tribe.
I'll move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstention Montgomery. Motion carries. Number 16. Motion to approve enrollment of Elias Amar Booth, blood degree 1164 to the Hoopa Valley Tribe. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to approve enrollment of Jameson Ray Finney, blood degree 964 to the Hoopa Valley Tribe.
I'll move.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 18, motion to approve enrollment of Elijah Dwayne Hurley, blood degree 35-256 to the Hoopa Valley Tribe. Is there a motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstention Marshall, motion carries. 19, motion to approve enrollment of Elea Ray Mendez, blood degree 18 to the Hoopa Valley Tribe.
I'll
I'll
move.
move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 20, motion to approve enrollment of Scarlet Destiny May Moon, blood degree 18 to the Hoopa Valley Tribe.
I'll move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 21, motion to approve enrollment of Ava Lorena Nicholson, blood degree 39-256 to the Hoopa Valley Tribe.
I'll move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 22, motion to approve enrollment of Kahanai Rose Rogers, blood degree 964 to the Hoopa Valley Tribe.
I'll move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 23, motion to approve enrollment of William Lester Bud White, blood degree 47-128 to the Hoopa Valley Tribe.
I'll move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'm aboard, little ones.
Congratulations to our new members. What's our number now, Rhonda?
Our complete number is 3,653.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, wait, we just relinquished one, 3,652.
Okay. Oh, man.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would ask the council to suspend the rules and add motions that were tabled from the March 19th meeting back onto the April 2nd meeting, and that would be a motion to approve. This would be new business item number 24, motion to approve a contract modification for Joseph Wiseman TRC-23-002 under the terms and conditions presented into the attachment modification to authorize the continuance of Judge Pro Tem services for the Hoopa Tribal Court. Count number 1026-85,000-0130, extending for 1 year. And new business item number 25 is a motion to approve the independent contractor agreement between Lisa Sanderson and Hoopa Tribal Court under the fiscal terms and conditions presented in the attached contract, and to authorize the provision of technical assistance for grant-funded initiatives with all expenditures to be charged to 2947-85,000-01300 and 2946-85,000-0130. Is there a motion to?
Well, and under new business?
Yeah, isn't that came from the 19th meeting? Okay, so this would be, yeah, you're right. New business item number 26, motion to approve purchase of 2 vehicles using accounts 8240-CA-0429 and 8240-CA-6810 and 8240-CA-6811, supported by the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. Is there a motion to suspend the rules and add these to the agenda?
I'll move.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, new business item number 24. That's the motion to approve contract modification with Joseph Wiseman. Judge Blake, did you have anything you wanted to say on this one?
Yeah, yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. So the Bureau of Indian Affairs gave us a one-time funding award in the amount of the $74,250 that would essentially pay for this contract in full. There would be no cost to the tribe whatsoever, and it also allows for the ability for conflict cases to be heard independently. That doesn't exclusively mean that Judge Wise would be the only pro tem that we would use. It means that at this point, it would allow us to transfer cases to him on short term with the council's approval of the contract.
Is there a motion?
I move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. New business item number 25. Motion to approve the independent contractor agreement between Lisa Sanderson and Hoopa Tribal Council under the fiscal terms and conditions presented in the attached contract, and to authorize the provision of technical assistance for grant-funded initiatives with all expenditures to be charged to 2947-85,000 -0130 and 2946-85,000 -0130. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. New business.
Council, thank you very much for letting us get on the putting this back on the agenda. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
New business item 26, motion to approve purchase of 2 vehicles using accounts 8240-CA-0429 and 8240-CA-6810 and 8240-CA-6811, supported by the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation grant.
Donald.
Or at least willing to speak on it.
That was the vehicles that forestry had on the agenda through the Fish and Wildlife grant. Okay, so this is totally grant funded, and the vehicles, do you know what the vehicles will be used for?
For wildlife work, so the grant itself is to manage the barred owl management strategy for the tribe. That's both on the reservation and off the reservation, but these vehicles will be used by tribal personnel.
So they'll get a lot of use and
Mm-hmm.
probably every day, pretty much.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
I'll move.
A second.
Any discussion? All in
Uh,
favor?
Mr.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Mr.
ahead.
Chairman, I think with all of these vehicles that we're purchasing, we should consider having a motor pool department so that all of these vehicles are, we make sure that they're being taken care of, and who has the vehicles, because the lady enrollment, they were needing a vehicle but couldn't find any, so they went out on their own. And now we have people coming forward. So I just think that we need to have a motor pool department for all of our vehicles and equipment that tribe has.
I agree. Maybe that's something that we'll have to address in the next budget cycle, because probably have to have maybe assign somebody, existing employee or something to manage it, and then, a location and all of that. It'd probably be cheaper to do somebody can do the oil changes right there or something. But I agree with you.
But I also know there are departments that are dependent upon vehicles, especially fisheries, forestry, you know, I mean, they don't have the ability to not get to locations without a vehicle.
Right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, that concludes our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a
Have a
good
good rest of
night.
the week. Be safe. Enjoy the nice